Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Kwikset number 83382. This is a key blank that is used in their key control deadbolt. Kwikset manufactures a deadbolt. It might be their part number 816. That is a duplex lock in the sense that it has two cylinders in it. The reason that they have two cylinders is because you can have two different keys operate the lock, not simultaneously, but two different keys can operate the cylinders. So you might say to yourself, well, that's no big deal because I can just master key the cylinder. Well, that lock has their smart key technology in it, which cannot be master keyed. So you can't pass more than one bitting through that cylinder at a time. You can rekey it to a different bitting, but you would disallow the prior bitting. So the environment where you use a key control deadbolt is when the landlord needs to have control via their key to be able to get into the property. So there's a separate cylinder for that. And they're both actually smart key technology, so they can both be rekeyed on the fly. The situation is this is a different keyway than the standard regular Kwikset keyway that we're all familiar with. Now, I spoke to Kwikset and their technical support seems very good, but there was a question left unanswered, and it's in regards to if I need this special key to work my landlord cylinder, I'm not going to be able to run this key necessarily into other Kwikset locks. Well, I don't believe that's the case. I think what happens is in the tenant cylinder, which is a standard Kwikset key, that has a particular set of milling on the side of the key blank that will match up with the warding that's done in the tenant broaching of their cylinder plug. I believe that the broaching in the cylinder plug for the tenant will disallow, the cylinder broaching for the landlord cylinder, the top cylinder, will disallow a tenant key or any Kwikset key from entering. Okay, so you can't even put the key in there. But I believe that the broaching of the tenant plug will indeed permit this landlord key to enter into it. So you could have a single master key that will run multiple locks with this key control technology. Based on looking at the broaching of both of the cylinder plugs on my screen here, I bet that's how that's going to work. You can take this key control landlord key and pass it through everything, but that tenant key cannot pass into the landlord or property manager key control cylinder. So it's physically a different broaching in the plug, which will control what keys can go into each cylinder. So the way that this works is you've got a tenant key on the bottom, which happens to be smart key technology, which just means you can rekey those on the fly. Really has nothing to do with the fact that there are two cylinders in that deadbolt. In order for the landlord to get in, if they don't have a copy of the tenant key, they're going to insert the smart key tool and rotate the faceplate of the deadbolt 180 degrees. They'll then gain access to the top cylinder where their what Kwikset calls their master key. When I asked them to define the keyway for me of this key control property manager key, they did not have a technical term for it beyond master key. The property manager flips that over 180 degrees. Their master key will then enter and operate the deadbolt. Doesn't lock out the deadbolt, doesn't do anything other than just permit the deadbolt to operate. Open, locked, unlocked. That's all it does. When the property manager is done, they can insert that tool and rotate it back down 180 degrees, and you're in good shape. I would think they would want to keep that rotating faceplate a bit secret. You don't want people just, turning it to wreak havoc on on the unsuspecting tenant who just wants to get in. But that's what this is. So this is the ability to master key these deadbolts, I think having 2 cylinders is the way they've solved the fact that a smart key cylinder cannot be master keyed, which means that the landlord, the tenant, the landlord or the property manager or the owner doesn't want to walk around with 100 keys. Okay, they want one master to work everywhere. Well, with the advent of this smart key technology, you can't master key the cylinders. Now the landlord is stuck needing multiple keys. Well, if you go to the ability to add a second cylinder that will still be smart key technology, doesn't matter, we'll take that master key and then pass all of the locks on all of the properties wherever. That's the way that they've solved it. Seems to me a fairly elegant solution, fairly elegant. What I like about the idea, what I don't like about the idea is that it's just more work. So that's what I don't like. In my opinion, that's a very small price to pay to do the following. When you have a separate cylinder, whether it be a duplex type cylinder, like duplex just means that there are 2 cylinders in a lock. Yale manufactured a duplex cylinder in the early 20th century. Corbin operated on a principle of what was called master ring, which was in effect 2 cylinders because it had 2 separate share lines. And in the concept, what I like about it, what I'm driving at, what I like about it is you are concealing the biddings, the pinning of that master key. So if all I have access to is the cylinder of the tenant, I can, let's say, take the lock, I can, let's say, take that key and I can duplicate it. And I'll learn everything I need to know about that key for that tenant door. But what I don't get is the information about the master bidding, which will theoretically work all of the doors in the property, all of the properties that the owner owns. I know, back in the old days, I have sold dozens of packages of locks for 3 flats built by general contractors who built 3 flats in the Chicago area, West Loop area, near North area, Lakeview area. And there's a single master key that runs all those properties. That's the way they want it. The trouble is that master bidding is in that single cylinder. So there's there is a very old description called the Dayton procedure or Dayton Theory. I forget what it was. That if you have a master key and a change key, if you have a change key and some key blanks and some knowledge, you do have a strong chance at being able to create a master key. But if your biddings are never in the cylinder that you are attempting to extract information out of, you will not derive a master key or a master bidding. So I love the idea. I like the idea because of that 2 separate cylinders, because it utterly isolates the master bidding. And if you have one property to protect, yeah, that's a reason. Well, not if you have 24 properties. And some of my customers back in the old days had 6 properties, had 20 properties, one master key. That's a really powerful key that you'd like to protect as best as possible. A little bit more information than what you needed to know about a key blank. I apologize. Now let's just take a couple of basic dimensional properties. The blade height of this key blank, 0.338, 0.338. This is going to have a shoulder to tip dimension of about 1.11 inch. Oh, pardon me, 1.10 inch. 1.10 inch is going to be that shoulder stop. The stop, this is the shoulder stop. These 2 stops appear to be the same to the tip of the key blank. Just information about the key blank. It is stamped "Do Not Duplicate." Okay, and it is marked Kwikset on the top. It was a very easy process to speak to Kwikset's technical support, so I appreciate them for that. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Kwikset products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Kwikset? This is their part number 83382 key control deadbolt key. They've got a deadbolt that runs on key control technology. This is the key blank for the key control cylinder. Or any other Kwikset product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.